Sun worked, which is with total freedom, because like you're that bright that anything you do to make money will probably hurt you more than it benefits in terms of making you tough. Like
Well, that's one of the reasons I'm saying the system we live in is so broke. To use myself as an example, I'm going to be blowing smoke up my own ass, but everyone's got to do that occasionally, right? I'm not a dumb dude. I'm quite intelligent, as I probably come across, right? But I'm deeply, deeply mentally unwell. I have schizophrenia, I have bipolar, and I have deep clinical insomnia and have had for 14 years. I cannot work a regular job because I just can't function in it. I can't deal with that sort of environment. There are many things I can do quite well. I can absorb infinite information. There's no amount of words per minute I can't type.
really?
Literally, I can type forever.
Well, then you have what I call savantages. You could be a savant guardian. You have particular unique skills that are probably pretty fucking rare and not that easy on you. And another reason why someone would probably nominate you and be like, can we have this guy do that shit too? Because if you remove the context of the world that you're in and the world that we're in, I honestly believe it's possible that in a YO utopia, like some village somewhere that was right for you and in a world that was evolving, you might actually appear to be fine. I mean, it's possible, right? That if all of this shit would just stop, the ignorance and the lies and the respect for history, and like if it would all stop, a lot of people who are deeply unwell would be able to sleep at night. Like you probably feel like you should figure out how to like save millions. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so much that's so wrong and there's so much that can be done about it, that to actually relax, I think that makes people mentally ill. If they're not mentally ill, I think they're mentally ill in an even realer way. They're like ruined. You're still there feeling all of these things.
I'd go one step further than that and to say the tag of mentally ill is just vastly overused. I wouldn't consider myself mentally ill. I'd just consider myself different. I have a distinct set of abilities that I am just good at. There are many, many fields of work that could take advantages of my skills and just choose not to because I don't fit into that societal mold.
So
I don't sleep.
You got any I feel like you have no problem almost by default accepting a temporary position as one of the 12 Angry Knights. Like just
I
say
don't
like
even know what that is. I'll do it.
It's like a comedy troupe, right? I'm trying to make one thing, maybe first, probably not, called just the Unholy Grail, right? I don't even know what the name, but it's the story is. Actually, I don't need to get into the story. It's obviously something that's based in the actual the holy the Holy Grail, and the Holy Grail of the Unholy Grail is the Holy Grail, right? There's nothing we can do to be as funny as that, but like it doesn't mean we can't get infinitely close to it, right? It doesn't mean that we can't pay it tremendous respect with 10,000 writers who are huge fans of it and have gone off on their own insane tangents creatively. Like, what about this? You know? So at some point, I think people might be like, okay, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to go into the system of augmented virtual realization, and I'm going to place myself in the scenery from the Holy Grail. I'm just going to go, like, remember when I was younger, and I'd smoke weed and laugh my balls off at the irreverence done so so awkwardly and so comfortably, and I don't know. So I believe that there should be a board of directors of some sorts, which equates to a bunch of knights, right? Like whatever, 12 people, say 13 people if you play, like you try to absorb all culture and say, is it with Jesus and 12 other people? But these knights all think they're Jesus, right? It's like, not Jesus, but they think that they're the king, right? But I pretend that I'm super confident and that I'm always going to be the king, but it's really a group of people who have to elect one of themselves, and most of the first show is just these 12 dudes sitting at a round table, like talking and arguing, and like for maybe a week of solid content by the time they're done with it. And we might not even make a single decision. We might release that story of like the 12 Angry Knights just to see, like, listen, we have one chance if we don't tell them too much to like trigger 1 million people to write a paragraph, right? To say, like, we can do shit like that. You can get people to walk, like, to finish a piece of entertainment, and whether they have to smoke a little weed or take a shot.
Well, look at some of the best modern media. Look at some of the most iconic films, like The Matrix, for all of its faults. That ending was sort of out there and sort of left a few things up in the air. Any story that's popular, anything that's popular, any fandom, what makes it popular and what makes it interesting to be a part of is the arguments about it, the open-endedness of certain character arcs, character traits, and storylines. It's that open-endedness that gives people that imagination space to really take hold of this idea and make it their own. That's
Right.
what makes things popular. Like Star Wars is the best example. I don't know why I didn't go to it first. There are so many unexplored things there. There are so many cliffhangers. There are so many open-ended stories. That is what led to that fandom being so vast. Same can be said for Star Trek.
That's it then, right? Like it's fan fiction. It's like we create a story, one story that has the right beautiful triggers, and then we give them access to the game, which doesn't have a fucking ending, right? It's a Follywood studio. But they've been inspired to see like all these things, and then they can go out and fan fiction the living fuck out of that moving forward. That's the real meta shit. That's the real metaverse.
Well, look at the most popular game in the universe as for the last 10 years. It's Minecraft. And what is Minecraft? It's a sandbox. It's limited sheerly by your imagination.
Yeah, I love Minecraft, dude. I want to. Do you want to? Okay, let's get 12 dudes together and capture it and kill the dragon. Like I will say some crazy shit. You're obviously you could be a savant guardian if you have the particular skills you say you have. The fact that you are talking with me actually speaks to your credit. Obviously, I think like without being upset by me or having to call me crazy. I honestly think though the world can change. And at one day, I hope that both of us will chill the fuck out, right? Like there won't be, we'll sleep fine. You know, like our thoughts won't go to a lot of different places, kind of like we are rats trapped in a maze. We are deer in a fucking clearing, you know, and we haven't dealt with the fact that history's brutal as fuck and has produced a never-ending stream of fucking predators and people who are very close to becoming predators because they feel like the world is not okay and the only way to win is to take from other people. And these are the biggest stories in the world. Like I hope the greatest film ever told, right, would change the world. People would watch it for free on the internet, be like, oh my God, like, surprised it wasn't on Netflix, surprised it was just sitting there on the internet, and then get to the end of it and think, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna fucking invest in this company. And in the very beginning of the film, what they see is themselves investing in the company. They realize, like, of course we can't do this without $3 billion, right? Of course. You know, and then we'll just be a pie in the sky, sick of fantasy. But we can actually do this with $3 billion. And the app that we have learned a lot from a lot of shit in history and a lot of movies and a lot of apps and like shit like TikTok, which is incredibly infectious and viral, to propagate ideas that ordinarily just fly right by people who are looking down for their whole lives. Like we can get people to look the fuck up.
TikTok, and I've got to interject while I remember this, right? Because I latched onto TikTok really early. It started out as an app called Musical.ly, right?
Yep.
And I recognised it to just be a viral hit. And I sent it to a bunch of people I was talking to at the time, which was like, watch this space. I'm not quite sure where this is going or what this is going to end up in, but this is going to be fucking everywhere. And that was about 3 years ago now.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
When it was Musical.ly? Dude, Musical.ly is the name propagator of something I call Phenomenally, right? Because I thought it was Musical.ly, like Music Ally. So I came up and I said, what's a phenomenal anomaly called? And I said, what about the allies of the phenomenal anomalies, right? Like, I mean, I think everyone creates content, even in a brilliant system, that's much better than TikTok, right? But I think you also do get really, really, really star characters. And not because they're pretty, because most likely, we're going to animate everyone. Like, ours will be a cartoon. Like, there's no pretty bitches here. Like, this is for the mind, right? Think tanks. Think tanks. Sorry, I just like to do that sometimes.
Cool by me.
I just lost the debate, but it wasn't a debate, so it's totally fine.
It's a conversation between two strange dudes on the internet.
Dude, strangers are great. Strangers are, I say two things. One, I love strangers so much better than my family and my friends. And two, there's no greater danger than stranger, right? Because, like, even though most of the people in the world are fine, they won't steal your kids, you never know who the fuck will. Like, you really don't know. So you have to treat everybody in the world like they're potentially someone who would steal your child, which is really dark. Like, it's really dark.
See, I never planned on having kids, so it's never a thought that I come through when I'm approaching strangers. I approach every stranger with the same attitude. This could be someone interesting to talk to, and shit, I'm probably not going to sleep for at least 2 days, so fuck it, let's make some time.
That's funny as shit.
That's how I approach my life.
We got to get you on the record.
And I've got to interject.
You know, and then we'll just be a pie in the sky, sick of fantasy. but we stream of fucking predators and craft, dude. I want to. Do you want to? Okay, let's get 12 dudes together and capture it and kill the dragon and fan fiction the living fuck out of that moving forward. That's the real meta shit. That's the real metaverse.
Like, well, look at the most popular game in the certain character arcs, character traits, and storylines. It's that open-endedness that gives people that imagination space to really take hold of this idea and make it their own. That's what makes things popular. Like Star Wars is the best example. I don't know why I didn't go to it first. There are so many unexplored things there. There are so many cliffhangers. There are so many open-ended stories. That is what led to that fandom being so vast. Same can be said for Star Trek.
That's it then, right? Like it's fan fiction. It's like we create a story, one story that has the right beautiful triggers, and then we give them access to the game, which doesn't have a fucking ending, right? It's a Follywood studio. But they've been inspired to see like all these things, and then they can go out and fan fiction the living fuck out of that moving forward. That's the real meta shit. That's the real metaverse.
Like, well, look at the most popular game in the universe as for the last 10 years. It's Minecraft. And what is Minecraft? It's a sandbox. It's limited sheerly by your imagination.
Yeah, I love Minecraft, dude. I want to. Do you want to? Okay, let's get 12 dudes together and capture it and kill the dragon. Like I will say some crazy shit. You're obviously you could be a savant guardian if you have the particular skills you say you have. The fact that you are talking with me actually speaks to your credit. Obviously, I think like without being upset by me or having to call me crazy. I honestly think though the world can change, and at one day I hope that both of us will chill the fuck out, right? Like there won't be. We'll sleep fine. You know, like our thoughts won't go to a lot of different places, kind of like we are rats trapped in a maze. We are deer in a fucking clearing, you know, and we haven't dealt with the fact that history's brutal as fuck and has produced a never-ending stream of fucking predators and people who are very close to becoming predators because they feel like the world is not okay and the only way to win is to take from other people. And these are the biggest stories in the world. Like, I hope the greatest film ever told, right, would change the world. People would watch it for free on the internet, be like, oh my God, like, surprised it wasn't on Netflix, surprised it was just sitting there on the internet, and then get to the end of it and think, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna fucking invest in this company. And in the very beginning of the film, what they see is themselves investing in the company. They realize, like, of course we can't do this without $3 billion, right? Of course. You know, and then we'll just be a pie in the sky, sick of fantasy. But we can actually do this with $3 billion. And the app that we have learned a lot from a lot of shit in history and a lot of movies and a lot of apps, and like shit like TikTok, which is incredibly infectious and viral, to propagate ideas that ordinarily just fly right by people who are looking down for their whole lives. Like, we can get people to look the fuck up.
TikTok, and I've got to interject while I remember this, right? Because I latched onto TikTok really early. It started out as an app called Musical.ly, right?
Surprise!
Yo.
What's up? You lost the money.
What's going on?
You didn't get the money.
Okay.
Oh, that's all. Dan. Oh, fuck, I'm lagging. Hold on. Let me close down something here. Fuck. I gotta buy a computer, like, really, like... I want to talk to you, like, not now, but, like, see if you can convince me to get, like, a PC or a Linux machine or something instead of buying a Mac Pro. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not gonna be... Like, I have this computer for my operating system, for my personal files and everything that I do, like, normal bullshit, but... Like, on a PC, it's not like I'm dealing with the operating system that much, right? I'm going to be dealing with the fucking programs and shortcuts, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
Let's see. Are we okay here? Oh no, what the fuck? We got a raid.
Come on,
Gotta turn the fucking light on
Here
for these
tonight.
fucking philosoph clowns. I don't even have a word for it. Fuck. I'm lagging too, which really sucks balls. Hold on. Oh. I love you guys. You guys are great. I don't know where the fuck you came from, but
We saw the troller was in here. We had to come into.
the troller.
God damn.
Oh Jesus. I don't know. I was actually getting. It's crazy. I was getting a ton of shit done too. I'm having a really good time, and Miguel, you're supposed to be asleep, dude. He told me he was going
yeah,
to
I was
sleep.
going
People
to,
always
but,
tell me that. They're like,
Sophie
yeah.
called me into a convo.
Bro, ad max me.
Max.
Hold on, I'm lagging. Fucking piece of shit. I don't know if I can do that yet. Like, I mean,
Dude,
hold on. Oh, I even look good, dude. I got legit shit right here. This is legitimate. Why am I importing a giant file right now? Fuck. Did you guys know Cowboy?
Wait, who?
Cowboy? I don't know what it's like. He's in here. He's from England. He says he's a bit schizophrenic, but I was streaming a talk that I had with him, and I'm actually cutting it down into one. Like I'm serializing it on TikTok for practice. It's so good though. He's definitely mental, but he's very very smart and very creative. And if like the five of us can start a company and destroy Bezos right now, like it doesn't matter. It's over.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. The brain power that we have and 1 degree of separation from us, we're not trying to go waste our time in space. I mean, maybe. Maybe.
Good point. Good point.
How was tonight? Lots of pop philosophy?
ad max.
Why, though? Like, why do you, like... I mean, I don't think... Director, what do you think about that?
What do I think about what?
Giving...
He's asking if you could ad max me.
Yeah, he wanted... Wait, I'm trying to go live. It's not even working.
Ad max?
Instead of
yeah,
admin.
I figured out.
I'm gonna fuck up my video by doing this too. I'm gonna be roboting. It's like the last time in history someone like me will robot. Fuck.
I was listening to Tofi in a Canadian server, and
Wait, really?
yeah, he was arguing with some guy, and I just wanted to blow my brains out.
Oh my god.
Is he still in there?
He's winning.
He's not?
I mean, I guess he is.
Wait,
I mean, he's morally losing when I feel like that.
Yeah, he's...
Wait, is he in there right now, though?
Yeah, I
Yep.
think he is.
yeah, but
Alright, let's go in there. Let's go in there.
yeah, in fact, for some people though, the goal is apparently to get the other
Alright, let's
guy.
get it.
All right. What the fuck? Oh my god.
Bro, ad max me.
Why? We haven't even talked. We haven't even had like a fucking interview. I don't like. You know what I'm saying?
That's not true.
Dude, AdMax, I think. Well, AdMax can't destroy the server. Hold on. Let's get rid of this. I don't even know. Oh, okay. I can switch. All right. Let's quit. This stream sucks. We don't want to stream video. This is a bad idea. You don't need AdMax. You don't really care. It's not that serious, dude.
Dude, I do care.
Dude, so one of these days I'm gonna expand the size of my nuclear family too far, and my server is gonna get sammed.
No, I would, Miguel. I would never do that. You know,
I mean,
You know-
actually,
wait.
Miguel is an Ad Max. He's like except for the Troller, he's the original Ad Max.
Wait, but what I'm saying is I can vouch for Josh. Like, Josh and me are really close. He's not gonna do some shit like that.
I would never fucking do that.
Fine. If I get to 12 though, then it's gonna be cut off. If there's 12 Ad Maxes,
Yeah, I'm not recommending anybody else. I can't trust the other. I'm just saying Josh is one that he's not gonna do anything.
I mean, you guys have.
I'm gonna push the limits, but that's it.
Yeah, he won't like nuke the server or some shit like
If
that.
it's a limit, it can't.
He
be
might ban
pushed.
bacon, now and then.
I mean, I
but-
guess you could push on a limit, but it's useless.
That's what makes Discord fun is to get admins everywhere you go, and then just push your limits. That's like the best.
I mean,
Thing to
kind
do.
of. Oh fuck! Why is this video so shitty? Kind of that is the goal. Like we're gonna build the next Discord, and we're all gonna be citizens of it, and like 10,
Yes.
10% of the time we spend is going to be like arguing, like, and debating to see who the next president is, because you can change the
Yes.
president anytime. He's just the most popular guy, and he's powerless, but he gets a lot of benefits. Like,
Wait, why does Tofi have the nightmare role?
wait, because they're married. Like, my dad's girlfriend is named Mary, and she fucked with my kids last summer, so they instantly called her Night Mary. Like, part of it, I don't know if they were saying it because it was nighttime or they were calling her Night Mary, but we lost everybody. I mean, you're at the very top, so it's all good. But Tofi is a weird character. Like, Tofi is the one person who I think is almost as weird as I am. I mean, you're pretty weird too, but I don't know if you're that weird. You're not.
In
like,
what sense is Tofi like weird?
he's just psychotic. I mean, I think it's comedy though. I don't know. He's
Oh no, Tofi genuinely has like,
probably like issues.
yeah. I mean, yeah, he does have like, but like a lot of it is that Tofi. There's like times where Tofi is cognizant and just trolling, but
Right.
then he also has moments
Moments.
where he's like, yeah, he's just going nuts. He just like,
It's like,
loses.
yeah, he loses it. It's, oh my god. But I mean, he has all you guys though, right? Like I mean,
Yeah, we keep him grounded.
yeah, and moving forward, like, I think in a shitty world, Tofi would never be happy, but the world is not going to be shitty, so I think he'll be fine. And he seems like a brilliant
agree.
guy. Like, even if his arguments often seem like the craziest shit, like, obviously he's got a lot
He's a
going
smart
on.
dude, yeah.
I mean, isn't that kind of the point of all you guys? What is the point? Isn't it? It seems like brains, like big brains.
The point of what?
All like your group. It seems like everybody. I'm thinking everybody's smart,
Uh,
right? I mean, I'm not saying equally, but I'm trying to
Oh,
think.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah. I guess.
I mean, I
that.
just started to. We just started to call people big brains. There's a girl that works at the cafe. She might invent a cure to cancer. She's a big brain. There's only 2 big brains in the cafe though, and somehow people know. You know, like, I mean, some of the other ones are relatively big brains, but a relatively big brain is not a big brain.
I got you. How has your life been affected with this Corona shit? Are you still gonna have those like hangouts?
Oh yeah, dude, it's gonna get it's just starting. I don't know what's gonna happen this summer. We'll probably just go down to my dad's place. We had this cottage since I was 12, and last year or 2 years ago, he sold it for another house 2 houses down. And the original house had an amazing property, but the houses were shitty. And then he bought one with less of a property, but the house is kind of amazing. So we'll probably just go down there with the kids and pretend to be rich, like, without having to pay anything, because it's his house, you know. And like, I mean, he's not like rich. People think he's rich. He's at a $500,000 house, and it's not like he could just throw cash on it. Like, it's a great place, but if you guys want to come down, if there's any way, if we can, I don't know how soon I'm gonna have disposable income.
Where's
but,
it at?
It's an hour south of Buffalo. I mean, we could always fly.
Okay.
We could fly if we get money, right? If we get some capital, be like, listen, part of the runway here, not the runway to take the business off, right? The runway to land the board of directors. Like, it's gonna we're gonna spend a little bit of money in the beginning. We're gonna bring everyone to fucking Toronto, which is like one of the great cities of the world, and then like maybe spend a week chilling down at the lake in the summertime, like, with no responsibility, right? At the end of the week, maybe we got to sit down, all 12 of us, and vote on shit. But like during the week, we'll be like, just fuck it, right? Like, this is the last week before we start something, so let's just have a great fucking time. And at the end of the week, we'll make some decisions. And I'll listen too. I'm not trying to be the fucking CEO of some shit unless the 13 motherfuckers elect me.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's around on the East Coast. I'm pretty sure most of us are located. I mean, I'm in North Carolina. Josh is in like Florida and shit. So I
Yeah,
don't
it's just
see
like a
when-
less than 1,000
Well,
mile.
it depends. I mean, obviously, it's contingent on the Corona debacle because I don't see this really going away in the summertime.
Right. Yeah, it's
I'd say
not. It's
probably
not
get-
going to go away.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
ideally,
I mean, it's not going to go away for at least a year because they're not going to have a vaccine to that. What I mean is that I don't actually see it decreasing in terms of how prevalent it is. I see it probably staying.
yeah, it's
like,
going to lock people down a
relatively
lot
the
more
same.
than they think. Like, they're going to have to be a lot. They're still going to have to be really careful in the summer. It's not going to be, you know. It's not going to be the way it is most
Yeah, I
summers.
see the summer being real quiet.
But I mean, it's fine. Whatever. I mean, we're kind of dealing with it. I don't discuss it much. Like I've heard so many theories, and there's nothing I can do about it. You know, there's not really. It's not our specialty. You know, just try to not cough on other people, even though none of us probably have it, right? Like at this point, I don't think that I've had it, or I guess I just if I did, I was totally asymptomatic. But my dad's 75, so. Like,
Yeah, that's some shit that I have to be careful with. Is that obviously I'm like able-bodied and young. It's not really a big deal, but like both my parents are high risk.
Yeah, and it's
So,
like just,
I don't really go by the house anymore now. Because
Yeah.
if I did have it, I don't even know if it would like show necessarily.
I haven't even touched my kids in like 2 weeks. When it gets warm, we're gonna play outside, like period, right? I mean, they're 8 and 10, so they're not gonna fucking like if they get sick, they're gonna get amazing fucking treatment, and the only way they die really is if the universe wants them to fucking die, because they're very strong, they're very healthy, right? I mean, I don't want them to get it right, but I'm not gonna destroy the summer and not hug my fucking kids. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna like read a
Yeah.
book and not fall asleep with my fucking kids because of a .01 chance that they die. I mean, there's that chance
Yeah.
that you know.
Sacrifice all of those like experiences over just some like silly virus.
I mean, it's one of the greatest things that's ever happened to me, just to be honest. I mean, I was probably gonna be home. Well, spring it snowed today, right? So like I would have been indoors until
It's-
about
it
now.
snowed?
It snowed today, dude. It fucking
Oh, shit.
snowed.
What the fuck? How?
I don't. I mean,
Well, I mean, actually, you're in New York, so it's not that crazy, I guess.
it's just kind of annoying. But the fact is, I've been I'm not going to keep doing this. My hope, this is my crazy selfish hope that the COVID, I hope it kills a minimum number of people. But as long as it continues, AT&T can obviously handle a massive 4G load. You know, massive, because they just uncapped everything. At least from what I can tell, I got to be at 40 gigabytes, and I can only use 10. Even on my mobile hotspot, they canceled that restriction too, right? They bumped it to 25, and then they just said fuck it, right? So I can do whatever I want on a mobile connection right now, which is pretty fucking awesome. Which means I can drive around, I can do whatever I want this summer. Hopefully, wherever I am, except for when I'm driving in between, like through rural areas, I can just continue to work. And shit is almost done anyways. Like, I mean, it really just takes a true belief in something that's actually realistic, and I have that, and I guess I should have expected, like, whenever I do good things, there's some kind of a distraction. I did obviously go into the room and start having fun, like, naming people. And DeChiller likes to collect his money. I don't even know. Do you know how many points you have? Like, I don't know. I can't keep track.
I have no clue. I
Yeah,
haven't
nobody's-
tracked mine either.
Nobody records anything, right? Like, nobody... I mean, they do. I'm sure somebody has recorded some event of mine, but I haven't, like, spurged in a while. Like, back in the day, I... like in Tom's, oh my god, like I don't, like, you know, I don't take shit, right? Like I don't eat shit. It's just not something I do. But ever since like the 28th of February, like I randomly came back on Discord, Chillism seemed to open up, you know, and then you guys like wandered in. I don't know, I was 2 weeks ago. I haven't known you guys for long. It's like a couple of weeks at most, right?
I guess. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, time is.
Yeah, because I've only been back for a little bit too, anyhow.
I was relaxing. Like I was watching TV shows. Like I was taking notes and making lists, but I wasn't really working for a while there. I was just watching Trailer Park Boys and Arrested Development, and
Oh yeah, man, it's a good series.
BoJack Horseman, like which is really funny. Like I sometimes I have a hard time if I look at the characters and they don't strike me right. I don't watch it for like years, and then until enough people are like, dude, these are really funny people that are putting their best into the show, so you gotta fucking... And it's funny shit, too, like... I mean, if I didn't laugh for a week, I'd probably blow my head off, honestly, right? If I couldn't laugh for a week, I'd be done.
Right. I agree with that. That's a good, good analysis of, I think, most people's lives.
Yeah, it's more serious than sex. Like, if I could not have an orgasm. I've never done it, but I could go a week without having an orgasm, right?
Right.
I think I've gone 2 days in my life. Oh my god.
Having a laugh. Yeah.
Oh my god. You're gonna get at some point you'll get older and you'll actually conceive of the possibility like, wait a minute, Like, yes, I'm a man. I always want to be up for like fucking, but maybe at some point if I could just have like one day off, it would be cool, you know, like just one day. And I'm the dude who I don't even do anything about it. I'm fucking.
Well, you
Oh
just
my-
start to get busy as you get older.
Oh, I'm hoping. I don't know. I'm fucking hoping. Like I want to get busy. Like I went 3 years and have not done shit. I think one. Oh my god! And I made a promise to myself that I was gonna publish first too. So what the fuck? It's so bad. It's fine. It doesn't matter. It seems like it's that serious though, but it's not. It's really not.
Well,
that
it's all
serious.
about just picking up the pace, like now, right? It's not about looking back on what you lost.
Yeah, you're right. You can't
So
like.
it's irrelevant what you lost.
Yeah, I'm gonna write. There's a saying for that, right? And this is I think this is a very powerful card. Just pretend like it was cards for humanity, right? It's not what it is, but it's closer than. This is actually a card in chat, like passed away. Very powerful card. I don't know exactly how it works. I don't have the brain to figure it all out because it's like the number of combinations between the 420 ideas is immense, and it would take me a decade. Like I can't do it. But passed away erases something, right? It takes away something because if you can forget about it, like, or at least become disattached from it, then you're free. The past is probably the thing that makes us the most enslaved.
Well, I mean, you can think of time as like being like a life, or like you know, it's very easy to like lose 3 years and you're just looking back wondering what the fuck you've done.
Right.
But in a sense, you should look at it just like a death, where like similar to like in grief, after someone dies, you have the process of moving on. You should do the same thing, which is if you spend too much time grieving, you eventually just waste more time. Like that 3 years turns into 6, which turns into 9, because you've just been reflecting on how much you've like lost. Where you should just like it's completely unproductive to think about that.
Yeah, we could. I think
Like I right now could hammer on myself now for like staying up now.
No,
It's
you're
like
fine.
fucking
You're fine.
3 in the
Now is
morning.
fine. Now is an exception. We could create some. I really think we could create something that was essentially like we could create like therapist, right? Like Thera pissed off, and make something where we said, listen, when you have a problem, one of the things you can try to do. I mean, fine, go talk to somebody, talk to your friends, but you can also look at the future, right? You can actually turn that shit around and focus on something else. And in this day and age, that something else is like the only time the world was ever really able to change. Like you're in a dynamic world right now. There has to be and there will be a phenomenal renaissance that happens. Like there will be, or they will murder all the fucking intellectuals. Like it's gonna be like one or the other. And that could be it, right? It could be like literally they just
hope it's not the fucking ladder.
no, it could be Eloy and Morlocks, dude. It could be fucking like two completely different classes of people, and like we'd be trapped in between, right? Like we'd never go into their plastic castles, never.
Right.
But we also wouldn't be fucking enslaved, you know. So we'd exist between the above and the underground, and I haven't even figured out how to tell my story. I'm gonna keep working on it. There's so many ideas. I'm hoping one pops out that's kind of new, you know, like 3 of them combined together spontaneously, and I can just say fuck it. That's the trilogy. Like, because three is not the only reason I would think 3 would be a necessary number for God is because 2 just creates a line, which is nothing. You know, it's like a theoretical thing. But a triangle is a thing which contains space inside of it. I guess maybe not in 2D. It contains a 2D shape. But, so instead of a triangle, it's actually a tetrahedron, right? The 4 triangles, 4 identical triangles that snap into one another. Dude, I love tetrahedrons so much. Sorry, I'm super high again.
No, you're good.
Like, I want to
What
build,
do
like...
you
What's up?
what do you smoke? Do you just smoke like blunts?
No. Let's see if this actually works. Let's try. This should work. Actually, since I'm not trying to like, I just smoke. If you can see, just this. This is a one hit. This is a one hitter.
Oh shit.
Like a pure glass one hitter, and I have a little bit of weed in. I'm waiting for my friend who grows shit to. There's too many things to talk about. I need multiple heads.
Dude, I get to that state too where what happens is like you're forming propositions in your head quicker than your actual mouth can spit them out.
Yeah, and our brains are. I mean, they're amazing, but they are limited. Like, there's 5 things sometimes. I'm like, I want to go in 5 directions, and when I'm done, I could like sit down with you, and I could have all of them. I could have like printed out in cards. I could have a deck in front of me, right, in a Rolodex, and I could literally put down anything and kind of just play them for you, right? Like I'd have a deck of supporting materials with me, and they'd all be explained, so I could just be like, boom, 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 boom. Like, see the chain here? See why this is powerful? See why people want these cards? I'm happy, dude. It's great to it's really great to meet you, and like not too many people. There's maybe like 5 people I've met that are really. I mean, there's probably 100 that I'm glad to have met, but there's probably only like 5 people I've met that are like great,
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of assholes on this fucking app.
But so as I was saying when the people were in here for a minute, we're gonna build the next Discord. It's gonna have I think voice and eyeball identification. It'll probably be a little like it might even be a ring that you take off and you just hold it right over your eye and it can scan that way. Like we'll run the company simply by basically speaking and wearing a pair of glasses, right? Maybe we'll all actually wear. We'll probably have to fully flesh out the invention of something called audioptics, but what those glasses do, they record our eyes. Your voice and your eyes together can't be faked until it's too late. I think, I think they wouldn't be able to fake us. We'd know who the fuck our citizens were. So you can actually build a parallel reality. You can build like Virtue Earth, and then from there you come up with proven theories and algorithms, like and you model governance until the people of the world say enough. Like enough. Right. Like we're going to replace the historical blockchain, which is the opposite of a blockchain, with an actual one-time planet-wide, incredibly well thought out pre-distribution. Like we're gonna break the old system, and the only people who are gonna lose, if they even lose, are maybe 10 millionaires and up. Like, and everyone else in the world is going to benefit because by breaking the old system, we could probably bring in 1,000 new ideas that we learned over time that can't be fully implemented because we're dealing with a dinosaur. And I'm an idiot. I don't want a dinosaur loser. Right? I don't want a dinosaur loser. So like that, like if we were playing the World Joker Tour, because you laughed right there, and I bet everything that you would laugh, I would beat you in this round, and like, so like right before you say something, right, you can have so much input in the future. I'm jealous of you young people. Like when you're 100, I will be 127. Oh my god, like it doesn't seem that bad though, right? If we go for like 1,000 years, it'd be like, Miguel is 1,000 and I'm 1,027. It's just like no difference. And like at this point in history, there is no difference. In 10 years, I'm sure we will talk and you'll be like, it's kind of funny because Alex is a little bit slower than he used to be, right? Like, but I'd probably be way more enjoyable, right? And I'd still be faster than people who have not learned to resist the sheep pull.
Right.
You just want to quit right now? Like at some point we can talk for I like mushrooms. We can talk for 5 hours, but I'm trying to be very careful not to talk to anyone too much, which is shitty because like everything looks so good. Like I actually randomly I took my backdrop, which is against the wall, and I pulled it out, and it just happens to like fall over.
That's actually hilarious that you say that, right? Because I have like the same, what is the word? Predilection. I guess I captured it best. You said that was actually really funny what you said. You said something like everything looks so good. But I think that's like Discord in general. Where, I mean, I consider Discord like there's positive aspects, right? But like it's a net negative in the sense that like on the whole, like there's like a lot of time wasting. But it is like having like a plate of desserts. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you have like a lot of like, you have like so much to choose from. So you end up just like talking way too much.
It's I can't do that. Like remember, like apparently Socrates was trapped in Athens because of a plague, and like they say, he was like one of the first city people in history. Hold on, I'm trying to fix something. Yo, say something, please.
Yo. Can you hear me?
Again?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's good. No, I can hear you through the headphones, and I'm recording your end. Only whatever, because I have I want to. I'm also recording with my phone because if I lost clips like this again, I would not again for the first. I'd lose my shit. Like if I lose these clips right now, I'm probably gonna go jump out the window. And I lied before. I'm actually on the second floor, so all I would do is break my leg. We could make a whole movie about a guy who just literally, when he was like super frustrated, just jumped out the window and he just like broke his leg or his wrist. Like he just punishes himself. Like, I mean, think of in the Holy Grail where the guys just hit
He
themselves.
doesn't actually commit suicide. He just
Yeah,
hurts
just a
himself, like, really
mid-size. And when I told my kids, I had promised them water slides from their bedroom windows. Like I'm gonna build them a house, and it's gonna be crazy. It might be my dream is to build it on top of a hospital, right? To build a hospital with some of my points, basically, and then on top of the hospital, just put like a hydroponic grass field, and on top of that grass field, just build like my mansion. So like if I ever feel like I'm gonna die, I can just like dive down like a fireman pole and get right to the ER, you know. Because I'm gonna get fake lungs, dude. I'm gonna be cyborg as fuck. Like I'm gonna be like
Oh shit!
Star.
You're gonna go transhuman.
Yeah, that's where the Borg come from. They started with the Psy. Like it's actually a Psy. Like yeah, Detroller is Psy-Ops. I'll be Cyborg. It's a robot that sighs.
Oh well, then fuck 100.
Like oh my god.
Like
Like
just
this.
live forever at that rate.
Oh fuck yeah! I mean, maybe I'm definitely gonna unless I get really unlucky, I'm definitely gonna offload my brain into like Magic Zoltar from Big. You know, one of those like my last name is Graham, so we're probably gonna have we're probably building an arcade that is 14 spheres, right? Like they're called atmospheres. I'm gonna lose the point of this, but they're called atmospheres, and inside of them you utilize our virtual reality, right? They stack up into something called a spheroid. What is the thing from? Oh, okay. So 13 of them form the basis of the pyramid. The bottom one is 9 spheres, right? Each sphere can contain a person, you know, at one time. The second floor is 4, so you have 13, and 13 is like kind of the magic number to me. And then on top of that would go another one. Now the other one would be an identically shaped sphere, but that sphere would be made of like pure silicate glass. And all it would be this amazingly manufactured glass structure designed to frame holograms, right? So you drive by, you see Burger King, you'd see Subway, and then you'd see a fucking spheroid, right? You'd see like literally, in the future, you'll see a spheroid. And 13 of those are containing people who are interacting with our cooperative in